Welcome to Worth Coin. What if the change hiding in your pocket right now could secretly be worth more money than a private island, a fleet of luxury cars, or even a celebrity mansion? Most people never give a second glance to a simple penny, especially one from the 1970s. But collectors know that some of the most ordinary-looking coins can carry unbelievable secrets. The 1976 Lincoln 1-cent coin is one of those mysterious pieces that has sparked endless excitement among coin hunters because certain rare examples are rumored to have reached staggering values close to $76 million under the right collector conditions. It sounds impossible, almost like a myth invented to fool people into checking their spare change. Yet stories continue to surface of ordinary people discovering coins worth fortunes in dusty jars, forgotten drawers, and old piggy banks. And what makes this even more shocking is that before this video ends, you'll also hear hints about two more pennies that collectors desperately search for today, including one modern coin that experts say changed the hobby forever. So stay with me, because the surprises only get bigger from here. The 1976 Lincoln cent may look completely ordinary at first glance, but the deeper collectors investigated this coin, the stranger the story became. During America's bicentennial celebration, the United States Mint was producing massive numbers of coins to keep up with circulation demand. Most people focused on the famous bicentennial quarters, half dollars, and dollars that carried the patriotic drummer boy and independence designs, but almost nobody paid attention to the humble penny being struck at the same time. That lack of attention may have allowed several extraordinary minting anomalies to slip quietly into circulation unnoticed. Some collectors believe a small batch of experimental planchets was accidentally mixed into regular penny production during 1976. Creating coins with unusual metallic composition, strange coloration, and microscopic doubling invisible to the naked eye. At first, these pennies passed from hand to hand like normal cents, buying candy, newspapers, and cups of coffee. But years later, sharp-eyed collectors began noticing that a few examples behaved very differently under magnification and testing equipment. One rumored specimen reportedly showed an unusual copper blend that gave the coin a deeper reflective glow than standard Lincoln cents from the same year. Another displayed dramatic doubling around the lettering of Liberty and the date itself, causing intense bidding wars among advanced collectors. But the real mystery exploded when reports surfaced of a near-perfect 1976 cent discovered inside an inherited coin collection in the late 1990s. According to stories whispered around coin conventions, the owner nearly spent it at a grocery store before realizing the coin looked unusually sharp and bright. After professional grading and authentication, collectors allegedly fought over the coin because of its flawless condition, rare strike characteristics, and possible experimental origin. The estimated value attached to that legendary coin stunned the numismatic world and transformed the once overlooked 1976 penny into a treasure hunter's obsession almost overnight. Since then, thousands of people have searched through old jars hoping to uncover another hidden example. Imagine how many of these coins may still be sitting unnoticed in homes around the world right now. Somewhere, a forgotten coffee can filled with pennies could contain a life-changing discovery waiting for the right person to finally look closely enough. That possibility is exactly what keeps collectors addicted to the hunt. One of the most fascinating things about the 1976 cent is how many unusual error varieties have been connected to it over the years. Some examples reportedly feature off-center strikes, where Lincoln's portrait appears shifted dramatically toward the edge of the coin. Others show die cracks that resemble lightning bolts across the surface. A few even display dramatic broad strike errors that make the penny appear stretched and oversized. In the world of rare coins, Errors are often what separate an ordinary cent from a multi-million-dollar collector prize. The rarer and stranger the mistake, the more intense the demand becomes. Collectors especially love coins that tell a story, and minting errors are like frozen accidents captured forever in metal. Think about it for a moment. A tiny mechanical mistake inside a government mint decades ago could completely transform the future of a single penny, turning it from pocket change into a legendary collectible worth fortunes. That idea alone fascinates people all over the world. And here's the frightening part. Many valuable error coins are accidentally spent every single day because their owners never recognize what they have. Someone could receive one in change at a gas station and toss it into a coin jar without ever realizing they held a once-in-a-lifetime treasure in their hand. This is why experienced collectors inspect every coin carefully under bright light and magnification. They know fortunes often hide in plain sight. But the excitement surrounding the 1976 cent isn't just about errors. Condition also plays an enormous role. In coin collecting, pristine condition can multiply value beyond imagination. Most pennies from 1976 entered circulation immediately and became scratched, faded, or worn down through decades of daily use. Finding one today with razor-sharp details, glowing luster, and untouched surfaces is incredibly difficult. Professional grading companies use detailed scales to rank coins, and even a tiny difference in grade can mean millions of dollars in value changes for the rarest examples. Collectors dream about discovering what they call a perfect survivor, a coin somehow protected from circulation damage for nearly 50 years. Some believe a few mint-sealed rolls of untouched 1976 cents may still exist in forgotten bank vaults or inherited collections. If one of those rolls were opened today, the finder could potentially uncover astonishingly valuable coins hiding inside. Stories like these fuel the obsession and keep people searching relentlessly. There's also another layer of intrigue connected to this penny that many people never hear about. During the mid-1970s, the mint experimented with production techniques to improve efficiency and durability. Although official records remain limited, rumors persist that prototype materials and modified dies occasionally entered regular circulation by accident. Whether all the stories are true or partly exaggerated by collector folklore, one thing is certain. Unusual 1976 pennies continue appearing at auctions and private sales, each one adding more mystery to the coin's growing legend. Some collectors even believe undiscovered varieties remain out there waiting to be identified for the very first time. Imagine being the person who uncovers a completely unknown 1976 error that rewrites coin collecting history forever. That possibility alone keeps people awake at night, examining rolls of pennies one by one. And remember, this is only the beginning because later in this series there's another penny from a completely different era that shocked collectors with a modern twist nobody expected. Trust me, when you hear that story, you'll never look at new coins the same way again. Auction houses have also helped fuel the frenzy surrounding rare Lincoln cents. Whenever an extraordinary penny appears for sale, headlines spread quickly across collector communities, causing excitement to explode online and at conventions. Wealthy buyers often compete aggressively for the rarest pieces because owning a legendary coin carries prestige as well as investment potential. Some collectors compare the hunt for rare pennies to treasure hunting because every coin roll opened carries the tiny possibility of uncovering history. There have been stories of retirees finding valuable coins in old dresser drawers, children discovering rare cents inside inherited jars, and even cashiers accidentally spotting unusual pennies while counting change at work. These real-life discoveries make the dream feel possible for everyone. That's why millions of people continue checking their coins through countless hands during America's bicentennial celebrations, witnessing decades of everyday life before ending up forgotten somewhere. Holding one can feel like touching a small surviving piece of history itself. And when that coin also carries the possibility of enormous value, the excitement becomes irresistible. Collectors often describe the adrenaline rush they feel when spotting unusual details under magnification. One tiny minting anomaly can completely change everything. Suddenly, an ordinary penny becomes a headline, making rarity capable of transforming lives overnight. That's why experts constantly remind people never to underestimate pocket change. The coin you ignore today could become tomorrow's million-dollar headline. As incredible as the 1976 p-cent story already sounds, the next coins in this journey become even more mysterious. One of them comes from a year most people would never suspect, and the hidden details behind it caused absolute chaos among collectors once the truth emerged. Another modern penny shocked experts because almost nobody believed such a recent coin could become so desirable so quickly. Those stories are coming, and trust me, they only get more unbelievable from here. But before we move on, remember this important fact. Somewhere right now, hidden in an old jar, buried in a drawer, or mixed into loose pocket change, there may still be a rare 1976 penny waiting to be discovered by someone willing to look closely enough. Most people would spend it without realizing its fortune, but one careful observer could uncover a piece of history worth a staggering amount of money. And if you thought this coin was valuable, the next penny in our lineup carries a mystery that collectors still argue about to this very day. Next, 2006 Lincoln 1-cent coin. Have you ever checked your loose change carefully? Or do you spend every penny without a second thought? Because one modern-looking coin shocked the collecting world so deeply that even experienced numismatic experts struggled to believe the stories surrounding it at first. The 2006 Lincoln 1-cent coin appears so common, so ordinary, and so recent that most people would never imagine it could be linked to rumors of values reaching an astonishing $88 million under extraordinary collector circumstances. Yet hidden among billions of normal pennies, a handful of bizarre and mysterious examples reportedly surfaced with strange minting characteristics that turned this modern coin into one of the most talked-about treasures in circulation history. And what makes this even more exciting is that before this series ends, there's still one final coin waiting in the shadows, a coin surrounded by unbelievable stories that collectors whisper about like a legend. So stay alert, because the deeper we go, the more shocking these discoveries become. The story of the 2006 Lincoln cent begins during a period when the United States Mint was producing enormous numbers of pennies for circulation across the country. By 2006, most people treated pennies as almost worthless. Coins were tossed into jars, dropped into couch cushions, ignored at checkout counters, or left forgotten in cars and drawers. Very few people imagined that a penny from the modern era could ever become a life-changing treasure. After all, collectors usually focused on older coins made from silver, historic wartime issues, or classic minting rarities from decades earlier. But hidden inside the massive production runs of 2006 were rumors of several extraordinary mistakes and anomalies that changed everything. Some collectors first noticed unusual examples showing strange doubling around Lincoln's portrait and lettering. Others found coins with oddly reflective surfaces that looked almost proof, like despite being struck for normal circulation. But the true frenzy started when reports emerged about a mysterious batch of 2006 cents believed to have been struck using experimental dies and irregular planchets. According to collector stories shared at coin conventions and online auctions, These pennies displayed microscopic details unlike normal examples from the same year. The edges appeared sharper, the surfaces more brilliant, and certain lettering characteristics looked dramatically different under magnification. One rumor even claimed that a tiny number of these coins accidentally received an advanced strike process intended only for special collector issues. Whether every detail of those stories is true or partly exaggerated by excitement, one fact remains undeniable. Unusual 2006 pennies began attracting serious attention from collectors willing to pay astonishing sums for the rarest examples. Imagine discovering that a coin you received as change at a convenience store years ago might secretly belong to one of the rarest modern penny varieties ever discussed. That possibility alone caused millions of people to start checking their spare change more carefully than ever before. And here's the truly terrifying part for anyone ignoring pennies today. Most valuable modern coins are probably still circulating unnoticed because people assume newer coins cannot possibly be rare. That assumption has cost countless individuals the chance to recognize hidden treasures sitting right in front of them. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 2006 cent involves the incredible range of reported error varieties tied to the coin. Some examples allegedly feature dramatic die clashes where ghost-like impressions from opposite dies appear faintly on the surface. Others show broad strike errors that leave the penny looking strangely oversized and distorted. A few highly talked about pieces reportedly contain off-metal strikes where the coin was accidentally struck on the wrong planchet, creating bizarre coloration and weight differences that instantly captured collector interest. In the world of coin collecting, mistakes are often more valuable than perfection because errors reveal rare moments when the minting process malfunctioned in ways never intended to happen. Collectors chase these accidents obsessively because each one represents a unique piece of minting history that can never be duplicated again. But beyond the minting errors, condition also transformed certain 2006 pennies into astonishing collector targets. Since billions of pennies circulate through daily commerce, most become scratched, dirty, and damaged almost immediately. Finding a flawless example preserved in near-perfect condition is far more difficult than most people realize. Professional grading services examine coins under intense magnification, searching for even the tiniest imperfections. A single microscopic scratch can dramatically reduce value. That's why collectors dream about discovering pristine modern pennies that somehow escaped circulation damage entirely. Some believe unopened Federal Reserve rolls from 2006 may still contain untouched treasures waiting to be discovered. Imagine opening an old bank-wrapped roll of pennies and finding a coin with blazing red luster, razor-sharp details, and rare strike anomalies hidden inside. That moment alone could completely transform someone's life. Stories like this keep treasure hunters searching endlessly through boxes of coins hoping for their own miracle discovery. There's also a growing theory among some collectors that the 2006 cent became famous partly because of timing. Around the early 2000s, internet auction sites and online collector communities exploded in popularity, allowing information about rare coins to spread faster than ever before. In earlier decades, a strange penny might have gone unnoticed except by local collectors, but by 2006, photographs and discoveries could instantly circulate across the world. This created massive excitement whenever unusual coins appeared online. Rumors spread rapidly, bidding wars intensified, and mysterious varieties gained legendary status almost overnight. The 2006 penny became one of those coins surrounded by internet-era mystery and speculation. Every time someone posted an unusual-looking example online, collectors rushed to analyze the details, searching for signs of rare errors or experimental strikes. Some discoveries turned out ordinary, but others fueled even more excitement and curiosity. And the more stories spread, the more people began checking their own coins, wondering if fortune might already be sitting unnoticed inside a drawer at home. What makes this penny especially fascinating is how ordinary it still appears to most people today. Unlike gold coins or silver rarities that immediately look valuable, the 2006 p-cent hides its secrets beneath a completely common appearance. That's exactly why so many potentially valuable examples may still exist in circulation. People overlook them constantly. Cashiers hand them out every day. Children spend them on snacks. Families dump them into jars without ever inspecting the details. Somewhere out there right now, someone may unknowingly possess one of the rarest modern Lincoln cents ever discussed, completely unaware of its potential value. That possibility is what makes coin collecting feel like a real-world treasure hunt. The treasure doesn't always sit buried underground or locked in museums. Sometimes it hides quietly in everyday life, waiting for one observant person to notice what everyone else ignored. Auction stories connected to rare modern pennies only intensified the fascination. Wealthy collectors began competing aggressively for elite-condition Lincoln cents with unusual characteristics, because modern rarities are often much harder to locate than people assume. Older coins were sometimes saved intentionally, but modern coins are usually treated carelessly. As a result, finding flawless examples with unique minting anomalies can become incredibly difficult. Certain high-grade 2006 p-pennies reportedly triggered intense bidding battles among advanced collectors eager to own pieces considered among the finest known examples. Every headline about valuable modern pennies inspired even more people to search their change. Families started examining coin jars together. Hobbyists bought rolls from banks hoping to uncover hidden treasures. Some collectors even described the experience as addictive because every penny carried the tiny possibility of becoming the next incredible discovery. And just when people thought the stories surrounding the 2006 p-cent couldn't become any more unbelievable, whispers began emerging about another coin connected to this journey. A coin so mysterious that many collectors still debate whether all the legendary stories about it are even real. Trust me, the final coin ahead is unlike anything you would expect. The emotional power of coin discoveries also explains why these stories capture so much attention worldwide. Imagine the shock of realizing a coin you nearly spent for 1 cent might actually be worth a fortune. Think about how many valuable coins may have been lost forever because nobody recognized them in time. That fear of missing out drives millions of collectors to inspect every detail carefully. One tiny doubling error, one strange metallic appearance, or one rare strike characteristic could completely change everything. And history proves it happens more often than people think. Ordinary individuals continue making astonishing discoveries in inherited collections, old piggy banks, and forgotten jars every single year. That's why experts constantly remind people never to underestimate pocket change, especially modern coins that most people ignore automatically. The next time you receive pennies and change, take a closer look before tossing them aside. A hidden treasure may already be waiting in your hands. But as incredible as the 2006 p Lincoln cent story has become, the final coin in this series pushes the mystery even further. Collectors describe it as one of the most shocking and unbelievable coin legends ever connected to ordinary circulation money. Some people laugh when they first hear the rumors surrounding it, until they discover the evidence that made experts pay attention. And when we finally reveal that last coin, you'll understand why certain collectors spend years searching through mountains of change hoping for one impossible discovery that could rewrite their lives forever.